Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be looking at Nellis Air Force Base and all of the surrounding area. Now this was recommended to me by Wesley Gossett, so thank you so much for the recommendation, Wesley. And I think this is a really good location for the Unexplored Mojave, because while many players will visit Nellis Air Force Base because of the boomers, there's a lot going on in this place that is easily missed. So real quick, the real-life equivalent of Nellis Air Force Base is, of course, Nellis Air Force Base. However, while most locations in Fallout New Vegas are geographically in the same area, Nellis Air Force Base is not as accurate as other locations in Fallout New Vegas. But it is a scaled-down, loosely based version of the real-life Nellis Air Force Base. And of course, within the world of Fallout, the boomers have moved into Nellis Air Force Base. The boomers are survivors from Vault 34 who took up positions within Nellis Air Force Base after they were forced to flee from Vault 34. And now they've become kind of xenophobic and they really distrust outsiders, but hey, who could blame them when you got whores in the nuclear wasteland? But the player character in the events of Fallout New Vegas can either kill the boomers or get them to side with you. They are a pretty good faction to have on your side, as they will get a bomber operational and aid you in the Battle of Hoover Dam. And at the end of this video, I'll show the tour from the Boomers Museum of History, if you want to know more about the Boomers' history from the Boomers themselves. But for now, let's go ahead and check out Nellis Air Force Base. And I doubt you need it, but here on the Pip-Boy you can see the location of the Nellis Array, Nellis Hangers, and Nellis Air Force Base. As you can see, these areas are pretty far apart from each other, so this is a pretty big area. I want to compliment the game designers because the railroad actually goes into Nellis Air Force Base, and it is gated off. Here we can see a restricted area sign, and there's also other signs around here warning about military and their use of lethal force. However, we cannot open this gate for the railroad, but I just thought it was really cool. And then I wanted to show some of the surrounding area. So in front of the base is a residential area with a lot of destroyed houses. And we can assume the boomers did this as people tried to approach the base. The boomers just blew up everything, killing who knows how many people. And now it's just ruins. And this is kind of accurate to the real life Nellis Air Force Base, as there is a residential area right next to it. And of course, the first time you come to Nellis Air Force Base, the boomers will try to kill you. But after you have succeeded in getting here, you can obviously come whenever you want, as long as you're on good terms with them. And we can see the entrance is heavily fortified, and we have several boomers with missile launchers. And then I wanted to go over to the northeast where we can find a farming area. And we can find barrels, and I assume what they are making here is fertilizer. And if we go further north, we can actually find a boomer equipped with a Fat Man. That's pretty freaking scary. And he also has 3 mini nukes on him. So if you want to try and pickpocket them or kill them for those mini nukes, that is up to you. And we can see they're growing what appears to be maize in this field. However, we cannot collect this maize or food or whatever they're growing. However, if we go north of the Nellis Boomer Museum, there are 102 maize which can be collected by the player. And also around Nellis Air Force Base, you will find trucks and all kinds of other military infrastructure that has long been abandoned. There's also some Mr. Handies wandering around that are now in service to the boomers. So they clearly know a lot about technology, not just explosives. Now one thing I have to emphasize is this place is freaking huge. We have 2 full-length runways, and these are true runways, not like the walled up areas we see at Camp McCarran. These runways could still be operational with some repairs. And around this Air Force Base, you're going to find a lot of artillery, and a lot of trucks, as I mentioned before. Heading over to the Nellis Satellite Array, we can find a building that is associated with the quest Ant Misbehavin'. And during this quest, we can actually get a pretty rare and cool weapon, Thump Thump. This is located at the bottom to the left of the ant mound, and this is just a unique grenade rifle, and funny enough, this is actually named after the real-life nickname for the M79 grenade launcher, which was often referred to as Thumper by U.S. service members. And we can also find a plethora of ammunition and other explosives. There's also one Fat Man down here, and all of this is free for the player's taking, despite the fact that this building is owned by the boomers. So make sure to come down here and collect all of that ammunition. And then we have this slope, you saw me go through really fast, where I assume they would take up artillery shells. And then heading towards the end of the runway, we can find a watchtower that is actually manned by a boomer. So he's clearly keeping watch for any kind of would-be wrongdoers. However, he's not equipped with much, and I do think this position would be easy to overpower. Of course, you would have to deal with the boomer artillery first. And this part of the map is really barren. It's just 2 runways. I don't know if this was done on purpose because it is just 2 runways, or if there was going to be more content over in this part of the map, but it was ultimately cut from the game. Besides that, though, there isn't a whole lot out there, and we can head over to the Nellis Hangers. Inside the first hangar, we can find a mess hall, along with a weapons vendor. Now, this munitions manager is really good. You can buy some explosives and weapons from him, and he also has a lot of caps if you're looking to sell. But this is just a really cool area, and there are so many boomers in this area. The boomers have a very big population compared to other population centers within Fallout New Vegas. And I just always love this part of the map, or this city, because it just feels very alive and it feels very well fleshed out, unlike some other parts of Fallout New Vegas. And then up on the southern side of this hangar, we can find some flight simulators. However, unfortunately, we cannot use them. I really wonder if there were any plans for these to ever be accessible. And there's also some workbenches. Across from that hangar is the other hangar where we can find the bomber. Of course, this bomber is brought up by the player from the bottom of Lake Mead, and then the boomers will work on restoring it. Using these tires and tables over here, we can actually get on top of the boomer and take a closer look at it. We can see it has a turret on the top, and we can actually see inside the cockpit and some of the repairs that they've made to the plane. Obviously, at this point, the plane looks like it's in a lot better shape than when you raise it from the bottom of Lake Mead. Then we can look at some of the housing area. So here we have the museum. Again, I'll show a lot of this at the end of the video. However, we can find the Nellis Air Force Base snow globe inside the museum, which is free to take for the player. There's also the Nellis workshop, which is just as it would sound. It's just a workshop, and there is a bed which the player can use inside. Then we can find Loyal's house. And Loyal is the man who is primarily working on the bomber. It was his idea and his plan. And inside his housing area, we can find Dean's Electronics, which will increase your repair skill by 3, but it is considered stealing. And then we have the infirmary, where we have some injured boomers. I thought this text was kind of funny. Injured boomer is unconscious. Well, of course he is. But it is a very serious injury. And then we have a schoolhouse with a lot of children in here, and Nellis Air Force Base is home to the most children of any location in Fallout New Vegas, so obviously they are reproducing pretty fast. And then we have several buildings for the barracks. We have a female barracks, a male barracks, and a children's barracks, but they're all pretty much the same, and there isn't really anything in it. But for whatever reason, in the men's barracks, their pathing was a little messed up, and this one guy was running away to another building, and yeah, I don't know what was going on. And there's also a children's barracks, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't really know of any other location in Fallout New Vegas with like a children's area, but here we can see, and there's also a Giddy Up Buttercup Pony advertisement inside. And the final building we'll look at is Peril's barracks. Obviously, Peril is the leader of the boomers. Now, I didn't want to go too much into her, but inside this bookshelf, we can find a copy of Duck and Cover. This is one of the best hidden skill books within Fallout New Vegas, and that will increase your explosive skill by 3. Of course, what else would a boomer skill book give you? But it is stealing to take it. Alright guys, and there you have it, Nellis Air Force Base. A really cool and amazing location within Fallout New Vegas. The sheer scale of this base is pretty incredible, even if part of it is a little bit, barren. But besides that, Nellis Air Force Base and the Boomers are one of my favorite factions in Fallout New Vegas, if not my favorite faction. What do you think of the Boomers? Do you either support them or do you get rid of them in your Fallout New Vegas playthrough? I'd love to know in the comments section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any recommendations for the next location, please drop them in the comment section below. And, as always, until next time.
Ages ago, long before I was born, we lived underground. Everyone had guns, but the Overseer wouldn't let us explode anything, not even a hand grenade. We left and wandered the wastes. There were savages with knives. We blew them up with frag mines and grenades, burned them with flamethrowers. It was neat, but there was a downside. For every 43.6 savages we killed, we lost one of our own. We needed a new home. We needed Nellis. Here we have prospered and multiplied. Here our mighty guns destroy any savages who might try to harm us before they can even reach our gates. Well, until... But... Not saying you want to harm us or you're a savage, but anyways. Nellis has revealed many secrets. It has taught us how to fly the bombers once based here, and it has taught us where to find one. And that is our story so far. For this last image is our future. To restore the bomber, to fly the open skies in armored safety, raining high explosive ordnance upon ignorant savages. This is our destiny. I'm pleased that you listened to the entire story. Perhaps there are details you'd like to know more about. Let me know.